Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinateach Python, the last part of operators. Operators part 3. We have membership operators, bitwise operators, and then operator precedence. I'm sure you're all curious on what they are, so let's hurry and move on to the next part of the lesson. First off, membership operators. What are they? It tries to find a similar sets of values between two objects. So it's like it compares two values and it sees whether or not they have the same thing. Okay, so it sees whether or not a sequence of values are in an object. And our keywords are in and not in, very similar to is and is not. In will return true if the sequence is in the object. Not in will return true if the sequence is not in the object. Very basic, right? Very simple. To the next part of our lesson, bitwise operators. So bitwise operators are a bit tricky. They are not complicated in a sense, but they are tricky because they deal with binaries, right? So if you're a beginner to programming and you're not really sure, or you don't have a solid grasp on binaries, these are going to be a little bit difficult to understand because it's just a bunch of zeros and ones. But rest assured, they are very basic in concept, and you won't be using them anytime soon. Our following operators: and, or, zor, not, zero fill left shift, and signed right shift. All you need to understand from this is that they replaces values. They basically rearrange. That's what they do. They rearrange the positions of the binaries that they're working with. And I will give you a quick demonstration in a bit, but this is the basic syntax so far if you want to use them. Okay? Last but not least, operator precedence. Very similar in mathematics, operator precedence gives priorities to certain operators. If an operator has a higher priority, they go first. Python would deal with them first. If an operator has a lower priority, Python would be like, maybe later, right? I will work on the higher precedence ones, and then I will move on to the ones with lower precedence, okay? As I've said here, it describes the order that operators are performed in. However, if they have the same precedence, Python goes from left to right. Since I cannot fit all of the operators in one line, I've divided, but basically it goes top to bottom, okay? The parenthesis is the one with the highest precedence, and it just all goes downhill from there. I have a variable x with the string value of hello world. Print hello in x. Print hi in x. Print goodbye not in x. Let's go down here. I'm going to have a comment, bitwise operators, okay? And a multi-line comment, because I want to show you. There you go. We don't really need, all of these zeros over here. But for the sake of demonstration, since, our bitwise operators do like to move things around, it will be easier to see that these are the available placements that they can move these values behind here around. So print 6 and 3. I'm going to copy this a bunch of times. And I'm going to replace the operators. All right, I think that's all of the bitwise operators. Last but not least, precedence. A very simple print 5 plus 5 times 5. And down here, we will remove the parentheses. Ctrl S to save, and let's see how it works. Okay, there we go. Let's move upwards. So hello is an X, therefore it prints true. Hi is not an X, therefore it prints false. And goodbye is not an X, so it prints true. Okay. So I want to go through each of these one by one and give you the gist of how they rearrange all of these zeros and ones up here. So this operator over here, it will compare each bits, right? So bits are the zeros and ones, and here are the bits for the number 6 and for the number 3. It will compare each bit, okay, and set it to 1 if both bits are 1. For example, this place right here, this is 1. Up here, this is also 1. So what you get will be 1. And in a place where there's 0, and over here there is 1, what you will get is 0. For this next operator, it will compare each bit and set it to 1 if 1 or both is 1. Otherwise, it is set to 0. Down here, it will be set to 1 if only the bit of one number is 1, okay? Otherwise, in the case if both are 1s or both are 0, it is set to 0. As for this operator, it just inverts all the bits. So 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. For down here, it will insert the specified number of zeros, which is 3 in this case, and let the same amount on the left fall off. So for example, I have a bunch of zeros and ones over here, and I insert 3 more, then these 3 will fall off. That's it. As for this one, the operator moves each bit of the specified number of times, once again 3 in this case, to the right, and all of the empty places on the left are filled with 0. Now that sounds very complicated, don't pay it no mind. You will encounter these binary operators as you gain more knowledge in Python, okay? Last but not least, precedence. Obviously, parenthesis has the highest precedence, so whatever is within the parenthesis gets done first, and then whatever is outside of it gets done later. But without the parenthesis, the multiplication symbol is actually has a higher precedence than the addition. Therefore, 5 times 5 will get done first. This is 30, but up here is 50 instead. That's it for today's lesson. I hope that you understand all of that. Our next topic will be Python list. Thankfully, a much more simplified lesson to cover. Thank you for being with me here today. Remember to like and subscribe. Learn today, better tomorrow. Goodbye.